Okay. Good afternoon. Students, can I please have your attention? Without any further ado, today we are going to commence our second day of the seminar with Ms. Reshmi Palpatra, the training manager of Taj Bengal. And today, she's going to speak to you regarding the various hooks and cracks in how to become a successful training manager. Now, a small little introduction about her, that with an experience of 15 years, both in training and human resources, Ms. Reshmi Palpatra has contributed in nurturing talents in various parts of the globe. Having worked with some of the established brands, the experience ranges over varied industries in banking, academics, but never turned back once when she stepped into the hospitality industry. Passionate about developing human resource into a key potential, she has handled 6 pre-opening hotels, 3 of which are in Kolkata. She is keen on sustainability and corporate social responsibility projects and has been a language consultant and trainer. She is certified food safety auditor and 3 times certified trainer. Currently handling learning and development as part of the IHCL and L&D Hub East that covers around 20 properties across the East, North, Nepal and Bhutan. Ms. Reshmi Patra now will be sharing her journey of becoming a successful training manager. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Reshmi Patra, who's here with us. Ma'am, over to you. Thank you so much.
So I have come with a mobile and a wallet only, no sheets on my hand. Alright, so I need this to be a little... Firstly, I'll be covering a little bit of HR and training. So to begin with, it's lunchtime. It's very hot. Some of you are not sitting close to the fan. And this is going to be a moment when you would really wish that the session gets over and you can have lunch or at least sit in a cool, nice place. Right, wrong? Right? Absolutely. Very true. And that is the first thing that we need to, when we talk about human, then let's talk human. Yes? I would usually not start till the first benches were occupied, but then I know, gentlemen at the back, you have a fan next to you, so absolutely fine. The best thing I can do as a gift and a gesture for all the lovely ladies and gentlemen and the beautiful gesture that we have already imparted is release you early. Yes, and I've already done one part of it is we would be clubbing HR and L&D. So, not my usual self when I'm glued to one place. However, before I start off to ask about you, it's about you. Third years, how many? Any final year student here? Any final year student here? Oh, wow, good. How many of you had lunch, by the way, so far? Anybody who's managed to have lunch? 5 of you have had lunch? Then come and sit in front. Please, come. Now they'll say honesty is not the best policy. Come, sit in front, please. Because if you're final year students, then I need to interact with you at a different level. In case you wish to, if not, then I'm fine with it. Yes? Energy. Let us see some energy here. Oh, that's not the first row. This is the first row. Come. I promise I'll not hold you long. You cannot have any learning getting inside if you are on an empty stomach, for sure. Alright, so I know you've been enriched for the past 3 days hearing close to 25 speakers by now. We have some of the best chefs here, we have some of the best general managers here, you've had some of the best achievers here from the industry, and a wonderful initiative by the college, I would say, that you at least know what is to be done. They are going to curse me now. All right, everyone, question. What exactly do you want to know? Let us come to the point. What do you want to know? I'll not be talking only about training, I'll be talking about HR as well, because most of the interns come and say after their exposure in HR, this is the career I want to pursue. So what exactly you want to know? Do you want to know anything also, or what is it that you want to know? Let me talk what you would like to hear. No, both of you can also speak later on as well. Right now, kindly answer my question. What exactly would you like to know from me? Anybody, any question that you would like to know? Qualifications required for an HR, very good point. Anything else? Anybody who's interested to or thinking that in the hindsight, later on I'll be an HR or training manager? 1, 2, 3. All right. Yes. You would like to know more about HR? You would like to know? Great. How many of you would like to think that L&D as in training is a nice, comfortable job? At least you have 9 to 6 job. How many of you feel that L&D or training is a 9 to 6 job? Nobody feels that. How long do you think training managers usually work? Do they work or they don't do work? They just come, stand and give a nice speech, take good photographs. They do some work? Lots of work. What work do they do giving speeches 4 days? All right. And anything else? Can I have that mic, please, a hand mic? I'm like kind of not in my form thank you. Hello. Yes, this is good. I'm better off here. I have been told that there's a coverage also going on. So, I'm sorry. I know you have to adjust the mic. Camera as well. All right, to start off with. 5 of you said that you would like, and some rest of you do not want to know about HR, L&D, but still you are in the session because you have been asked to sit in the session, right? All right. So, I would share an experience with you. Firstly, how did I end up in HR? Even I did not want to be in HR. I was more into, my field was more of public relations. So I have a master's in PR, I have a master's in English literature, I have a master's in business law as well. So I was more into academics and I was into financial services. And one fine day, I get hired in one of the financial services company and they said, Reshmi, you're going to head the operations for the entire company. Can you please help us setting up our HR for just 1 day? You know, the HR manager is supposed to join tomorrow. Can you do it for us for 1 day? I said, all right, what do I need to do? Just the basic, you know, just understand people, just one basic, start taking the data. I said, okay, data entry, no problem. HR is data entry, first thing that I understood, okay. And then the first day I started working, the managing director's cabin had a glass window. So he kept observing, and then he observed that I was very much into the system, and then he said that the HR manager is due to join after 5 days. After 5 days, I get to know that he's not joining. And then I said, what happened to the HR? Doesn't matter. I am supposed to head operations. I'm going. So he said that, no, we've decided that you will take care of HR because we are opening 5 branches across the country. And you will take care of the HR. So my first job as human resource was an HR head. And it was a shock. And I was thinking, what am I doing? So it is not as comfortable today. So we didn't have consultants. So I had to go to the court, meet advocates, file legal documents. And I was thinking, what am I doing? And then I had to, the first time Provident Fund was introduced in that company, and all the employees said, no, we don't want any money to be deducted from our salaries. We want full salaries. Why should so handle so many people from all different parts of the country? And did everything good. Worked from 8 in the morning till 11:30 at night for 2 years, and then fell sick. Obviously, ended up in the hospital. And then, of course, thereafter I continued with them as a consultant, and then I was thinking, what in life do I want to do? So thereafter what happened is, I took a break. I sat at home. So I have not joined actually any of the companies. Are you parallelly having a conversation? Then you can come on the stage. You're sitting on the second row. Basic. Right? So anybody who's not interested, ma'am, humble request, please don't force anybody to be in the session. So let us understand, we had a farewell for all our interns. And since we got delayed over here, so we have cancelled that farewell today so that we could dedicate the time. So the time that I'm giving to you is the time that I've taken from all the 70 students, because they had a farewell that has been parked tomorrow because we had a commitment here. So anybody out here who does not want to sit in the session, please, I promise you will not have any showering from anyone. Please feel free to exit from the classroom, no problem. Because there's no learning which can be forced. And any learning which comes your way is a brilliant learning. Right? So Gunrit has been one of, we've had very good interactions. So to start off with, to begin with, the first job that I was sitting in the interview in the hotels was with ITC, though my internship was already with ITC Shuna, so there's one more pre-opening property with ITC. I was sitting in outside waiting for the GM's with the HR technical round, and there were 4 gentlemen and 1 lady who had 8 years of experience. I was sitting there with 0 years of experience, 0 qualifications. So today's time, as you said, MBA is certainly not only recommended, it has become a mandatory requisite even to do an apprenticeship, at least with Taj group of hotels, it's like that. So, and in fact, most of them even in retail. So if you're really looking at pursuing human resource, then it is certainly recommended that you do undergo a course in Masters in Business Administration with a specialization in HR, or you should, if you're looking at an industrial relations, if you're looking at a factory segment, it's always important to know IR, which is industrial relations. Lots of labor law to be read. So both of these things are important. So these 4 people, I had no clue what the H of a hotel is like other than my internship, which was in public relations. And all these 4, one of the gentlemen was sitting, he had 4 years of experience. He said, I've already worked 4 years in hotels. Don't worry, mera to ho jayega. First learning we get, confidence very important. Overconfidence is damaging. I was suffering from no confidence. I was like, mera to kuch nahi hone wala hai, bekari baithe hain subah se. So after having everybody done, so there were 5 of us. Out of the 5, 2 of us, the gentleman and me, were the last ones shortlisted for GM's round. And then I'm like, oh my God, who am I contending with? This gentleman, so confident, already in hotels, has already worked with this brand. And of course, what am I doing here? Just let them tell me, you can leave for the day, I'm happy. And then I get selected. And he gave the look that he gave me as if, you know, I think just because you are a lady who got the job, and that was something. So of course, I asked the GM and I said, you had somebody very experienced. Because he asked me any question you wanted to ask. So I said, yes, you had somebody who was very experienced. And I have no clue what the hotel is like. And I don't have a qualification in human resource. So he taught me something which I would like to share with you. And despite whether you want to be in food production, please be in what you want to do. F&B service, bartending, mixology, front office, housekeeping, whatever you want to do, there's one thing very important for us to always know. A is we take up something as a career what we love. See, yesterday while we were up till 10 o'clock in the hotel itself. Yesterday I was at Taj City Center. So while I was signing out these letters of training, while I was signing, I was looking down and I was telling this gentleman, he said, I'm thinking of getting into, pursuing music as my career. I said, good. I'm thinking of entering retail. I said, very good. He said, shall I do MBA? I said, and I want to start my catering business. I said, in a span of 2 minutes, you said, catering business, you want to take up some other careers, you mentioned 4 things. Why you're having this session is, after listening to everyone, you are not going to get influenced by any of the speakers. You're just going to get inspired, you will be far more learned, and you, end of the day, will make your choice and decision. It's not what we are telling you what you have to do. It is your choice, your career, your life, and you will pick only what you love to do, sitting in this heat, yes, or experiencing the same heat in front of the range. If you still feel, I would still like to do this tomorrow, you know this is the department you love. So we pick only what you love. When I entered that hotel, I had no clue what a hotel is. And you know what happened, the brilliant part? Very next day morning, I got to know that my human resource director is going on a leave for 20 days. Pre-opening hotel, 300 positions to be filled in. I had no clue what a hotel looks like. And leave for 20 days. And I didn't know what to do. And you had that entire ITC's pre-opening corporate team which was there in house. And my first day I was crying because he said, you don't know what is a kitchen stewarding? KST. They kept referring to as KST. I said, KST? He said, kitchen stewarding? I said, kitchen steward? किसको लेके आए ये लोग? इसको kitchen stewarding नहीं पता है. कैसी hiring हुई है? So I was like standing and crying there. So that was the experience I remember. And thereafter, so 300 positions to be filled in. And thereafter, once all these positions the recruitment was being done, we had to stay back in the hotel. The same corporate management team was very, very supportive, very learned. So they helped me out. The good part is, the general manager told me one thing, is, come Reshmi, come with me for a round. I said, okay sir, let's go for a round. And then I saw he saying, after wishing everybody good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, he comes back and he said, what did you observe? I said, sir, everybody is happy, everybody smiles, everybody is happy. And he named out 3 names. This person will resign tomorrow, this person is thinking of leaving very soon, and this person is not going to stay with us. So they told you? No. We took a round. I said, so but they didn't speak to you. He said, then how are you an HR? So you are an HR when you can feel the pulse of the people without speaking. So how did you do that? It's the way they are greeting you good morning. The smile that he had yesterday and the smile he has today are different. So I was very, very blessed. I got this opportunity with Mr. Alok Verma, who eventually was as a board of director with ITC Hotels as well. And he taught me HR is all about feeling the pulse of people. It is not about certainly being the boss who commands the rules and regulations. It is about feeling the pulse of people. So it's always a very strong, it's not a very easy task because you have to maintain a very thin line. You really cannot have friends at workplace if you're an HR because you always have to be unbiased. Sometimes even if you have some of them who are your very good friends, you might need to take a decision against them. And these are some things that we have done in the past. So I felt, for many years I was thinking, what exactly do I want to do? Because we were not so fortunate to have a session like this. What exactly do I want to do? I have authority, I have power, I have got salary, I have got everything that I want, but I'm not happy. This is not what I want to do. I'm not getting a satisfaction. When I entered hotels, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what is giving me happiness, because every single day you have people whom you are making them smile, and if they are not smiling, then you have to understand why they are not smiling and be the reason to make them smile. Not very easy. So to start off with, first in terms of a human resource, the very first important part is definitely not a qualification. I'm not an HR by qualification. I think in my time, I was the only HR who was not an HR by qualification. I got my qualifications much later. And thereafter, I was hired, a very interesting experience. So I was sitting in the Fairmont Raffles Hotels International, which is Swiss hotel then. In the interview panel, I remember Swiss and Australian gentlemen and a lady who interviewed me. And they asked me, why did you leave your last job and there's a gap? I said, I have never left a job because I've got another one. I've left a job only when I felt I've contributed, I'm unable to contribute anything further, and I would like to learn more. So that is the reason I just felt that I'm looking to learn more. So that is how of course, and then had traveled worldwide, handling HR and training both. Not very easy, because many people felt training is only about induction, 4 days, 3 days. Training is about, okay, why are you not wearing the tie properly? Your shirt is not white in color. And of course, why are you not holding the, if it's a departmental trainer, then about your SOPs. So people thought, chalo, HR training both can handle. No. It is a complete 24 hours job. Because you've done the training is great, but now how do I know how much have you learned? So now we have, very good, we have taken an assessment. Now what happens to the assessment? Somebody has to review. Now the review has been done. Now what happens to the review? You have to, whatever, you scored 80% in some places, but 20% somewhere, right? You have to identify what the 20% is about. And now, what is your name? Shanthan. So let's say Shanthan has done fantabulous and he's got 80% in all parameters. 20% is what Shanthan needs to develop. Now our responsibility is working on that 20% with that timeline. I'll share one of my experiences. There's this gentleman who came from Bangladesh, and he came giving me a timeline of 15 days. He said, in 15 days I have to get a job. And I can't speak English properly. I said, 15 days? Correct my English in 15 days. There's this lady who said, 28 days I have to go to Canada. I need a visa. I have to qualify through IELTS. Please help, my husband is there and I need to get across. So people come with such timeline. And you feel good when you see the person actually, yes, going to Canada, sending a picture with the husband, but it was not a very easy task. So a trainer can only facilitate. The gentleman from Bangladesh, the way he worked on himself. So I had to literally hold some of them, I'll tell you how. So he literally worked very hard. The lady who wanted to go to her husband literally worked very hard on whatever we trained, then there's a conversion. There was a lady who came from the hills. So she didn't know how to walk. She was not finding enough, walk confidently. So literally we had to train them because it's an overall development. So initially, after 3 months, of course, she got through aviation. So that was one of the hotels that we were working. So our job is only to facilitate. We can't have conditions, and it has to go very selfless. We can't have conditions. मैंने आपको train किया तो आप हमारे साथ ही काम करेंगे. Of course, that depends on the individual, whether you have that in you. But then it is always very good to see someone whom we have trained today as a general manager. So I feel great. As a human resource, there's this gentleman whom I still remember signing on 2 of his appraisals. And today I work for him. He is one of the general managers. I feel very proud. I feel very great about it. So in terms of HR, if any of you are looking at it as a career, there are 3 things that I would only mention. Is A, it is not a comfortable job that you feel अच्छा operations में बहुत भागा दौड़ी करना है तो इसमें बैठ के आप काम कर सकते हैं. No, it certainly isn't. It requires a knowledge of a lot of labor laws as well. It requires a lot of mathematics to deal with in terms of payroll compensation. That was my specialization. But more than that, even if you have all the technical grounds, I would like to share that there was one hotel, not with IHC, not with Taj of course, which saw a change in HR. In 2 years, 8 HRs came and left. They were asked to leave because none of them could fit the bill. You know why? Because for each one of them, they thought HR means I have power and authority. So I have the power to dictate. I have the power to be authoritative. I have the power to rule the world and decide the regulations. Definitely, it is just one aspect. There is far more to do. It has got a lot of things more to do. So it is about, you may not be able to see what HR is doing, but a company, any industry, I've seen, a company which has a weak HR crumbles down, and a company which has a strong HR does brilliant. So one shining example, Vivanta Kolkata EM bypass was less than 100 rooms, 87 to be specific, earlier as a gateway property. Brilliant general manager Mr. Vishal Sharma focuses on employees, employees, employees. He says the team is a key reason for the strength. Today it is 197 rooms. None of the days that you go over there, you'll find a banquet which is available. None of the days that you check on the website, barring, of course, when it was pandemic, wherein you will find that the rooms have enough scope for us to book at any point of time. It's sold out most of the time. And every time you walk in, the reason is, you walk into the back area, you will see housekeeping doing the same polishing that they will do in the guest areas. You will see the general manager himself coming and checking what is the taste, quality and menu of the food, how much of variety does everybody have, and how many smiles does everybody have. So he believes if my team is happy, and what is the output? Highest revenue generating across entire IHCL Kolkata. Of course, Taj Bengal is always there. So the reason is a transition. So what human resource, and how has he, this is all through human resource initiatives. We think revenue, bhai FMP bana raha hai, right? Of course, guests come here to have brilliant food, and FMB is the key reason for sure. But then without a strong HR, until and unless we are happy, the guests will not be happy, right? To begin with. Number 2, when it comes to HR, it is all about you being aware of the product knowledge and also about people. So whether somebody, how many members you have in the family whose pet has passed away yesterday, so would need a leave today. For example, I think with Taj, what makes us, why we have several colleagues of us who are working for more than 35 years or 40 years still in the company is the reason of HR initiatives. So we have a policy wherein we have diversity and inclusion. So you will even not find that every gentleman or lady in our front office is in terms of ethnicities fair complexioned. Yes. You would even not find that in Vistara Airlines. Last time when I was flying, I found for a change, not only ladies were cabin crew, gentlemen were there as well. And not all ladies were white-skinned. So I felt very proud. Tatas being Tatas, it's all about inclusion. So all of this reflects that if I have a potential, I'll get the job that I deserve. It has got nothing to do with my ethnicity, it has got nothing to do with how only I look, but it is also going to do with what is my potential. So there have been cases wherein this lady came and said, I'm overweight and I was not even allowed to sit for interviews and I've been rejected by all hotels because I'm overweight. She's interning with us in Taj Bengal. We didn't even ask her technical questions, she could answer. We felt that she's best. She's interning with us in Taj Bengal. So this is what is about HR process. This is what HR is all about. Processes ke liye we have several people. You have consultant to do your PF ESI. You have consultants to handle, legal consultants to handle the rest of the cases. But HR is all about people. It's all about the impact. All right, and when it comes to L&D, I know it's quite hot, so I'll not take more time. I'll close with this from my end. In terms of learning and development, many of you would eventually end up being there. So in terms of L&D, important that we understand subject matter. Please do not opt for L&D right at the inception of your career. I would sincerely request you not to do that. At least learn basics of operations and then opt for learning and development. And it is certainly not a very easy job, but yes, it is not about, so we had some of our colleagues who wanted to intern in L&D. And they came to the dais, they were giving a speech like I'm talking to you, and it is very boring like you are feeling right now because it's very hot and you are starving right now. So of course, when it comes to only delivery, so learning and development is not about what we know, it is about what you need to know. It is not about how much I know, but it is all about what you need to know. I'll not stretch it further. Just a few, 3 questions. Anybody wants to ask anything? Because I can see everybody is quite restless, finding it very difficult to sit through. So I don't want to tax you any further. Anybody wants to ask any questions? Any questions that you have? So I know what question you will have. But still I'm asking you to ask. So I'm the final round panelist. Today I had the final round I was in the final round panel also for management trainees. So I sit through all the rounds. I'm sure some of you would like to know about it. Anybody wants to know about it? Anybody is interested in a management training? Any hotel for that matter? You're the only one who wants to apply for a management training? Okay. The final years one, only 2 people want to be in management training. You are in first year? Very good. Can you come on the stage please? Can both of you come on the stage? Can you come on the stage please? I'll just show you something. Come, please come. Just come on the stage. Come. Gunrit, you also come. Now they are thinking, क्या करवाएंगे? Come here, this side. I need to see you also. Come here. Stand in a row, facing the audience. Facing the audience. Facing the audience. Up, turn around, face the audience. Yes. Alright, so I'll ask the same question. Okay, how many of you want to attend for a management training program? No, you have to raise the hand, I'm asking. Alright, okay. Alright, freeze, huh? Just freeze there. Okay. Now I'll tell you, HR. Freeze, don't remove your hand. I know your hands will pale. Now, your name please? Rajdeep. So, when you see, when I asked Gunrit, I know for Gunrit it is true to all, the way he had raised the hand, if he touches, he'll touch the ceiling now. Yes. But when I asked him, he raised the hand straight. You see Rajdeep's hand, your name? Debanjan? And lady, I'm sorry, the lady's name?
Devopriya Shah.
Devopriya, Debanjan, Gunrit and Rajdeep. Right. So, now you see how Devopriya has raised the hand. Now you cannot change the angle, sorry. Yes. What do you understand? Do you have any derivations? Confidence? Only confidence, anything else? Interest, anything else? Dedication, anything else? One word. Believe, focus, really wants to do. You understand this? You can read that? This is what the HR is supposed to read. And now you're all alert. This is what L&D is all about. Yes? All right. Thank you so much. Please have a seat. Of course, all of them want to be there. I'm glad that there are first years who are thinking, even if she is not sure, she wants to know, which is great. So for us everybody, since ma'am said that you're not aware, so I'll just like to brief you. What happens is, in case after your final year, there will be few entry-level jobs across all brands, wherein you enter and you get to the position of a guest service associate or a COBI 3, right? But let's say you are exceptional, brilliant in technicals, brilliant in your skill, your food trial was outstanding, you have fantabulous leadership skills, your coordination skill is very nice, you are quick in solution making, so you could handle a difficult situation that was shot out to you. That means you are a leader in the making, which means just an entry-level job may not suffice. You're ready for the next position. So we have, and if we groom you, you can be a manager. So in just a span of 2 years, with an exposure of different Taj properties across different departments, we train you how to, straight away in 2 years, you get to the position of an assistant manager. Whereas, to get to that position, somebody might have taken 8 to 10 years. So that is the concept of a management training. Easy to crack. So if you have, so Mr. Ghosh will tell you, so Mr. Ghosh has sent 200 profiles. Out of the screening in GDPR, we take out 50. Out of the 50, then technical rounds, we take out 12. Out of 12, then the final round, we take out 2. So, again, then from 200, you finally shortlist, and the ones who make it are 2 students. And that too may not be a hotelier's development program. So the next level is, if you don't make to the management cadre, then you have the next option as a supervisor's cadre. Is it profitable? Of course, because to become a supervisor, otherwise you will take at least 4 years, minimum. Yes? What do you need to do? Anybody wants to know? Anybody wants to know what you need to do? Oh, nobody wants to know. Problem. Let's close. Yes? Okay. Great. Nice. So, the only one thing is, you cannot prepare for it overnight. You need 1 year. If you want to do it, you need a minimum of 1 year. Why is it 1 year? Because first, second, third year, whatever content you are studying throughout, you will need all that. How is a panelist? So, back in our times, we had 14 panelists together. 1-4. Now at least we have settled down to only 6. So one person will ask you questions about, of course, first we assess communication and confidence, everything. You're given a situation, a very tricky situation, and the only mantra is you do not or cannot give up. They'll keep complicating the situation. Yes, she's a very good experience holder, yes. So they'll keep giving questions and they'll keep asking you, and if you've almost reached the solution point, then they'll trick you again. Yes? A brilliant job, you did fantastic in that, with a smile, and that's very important. Some of us feel chalega. Smile is optional. Interview room में बड़ा सा एक smile दे देंगे, बिल्कुल हो जाएगा. When they ask you these questions, then you know the first thing you forget is the smile. Yes, the first thing you forget is the smile. You can't stop perspiring, you know. And then what happens is, after situation handling is done, of course technical question, you say food or beverage, you say food. In food which section? Okay, very good. If you know technicals, good. If you don't know technicals, then anyways forget it, because it would be technicals on first, second, third year, and internship. 80% question and focus is only on IT. Any brand for that matter. Moving ahead, then you thought ho gaya, bach gaye. Then they will ask you what is the currency of, and then some of this surrender, sir, I am telling you I am not really good with this. GK I am not good as in, India is okay? Yes sir. Capital of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Go on. Yes sir, we have got such answers. So we can't expect a leader to say capital of Madhya Pradesh is Rajasthan. No, you need to know. Do you need to know as an F&B manager what is happening in the world? Yes? Anybody interested in food and beverage? Anyone? No one? F&B service? Nobody interested in food and beverage? So from now on, your first year, both of you? Okay, great. I know many of you will decide whether to do. You will fall in love once you are in internship. So that is the time you will be also from now on, please, on that WhatsApp, Insta that you're exploring all throughout, LinkedIn also, please check what are the latest F&B trends. Latest what's happening. Yes, what is done in class, very important. Because they are all HM graduates, right? So they'll tell you, you don't know what is a lanai? In your housekeeping book, the page number so and so, you had lanai, right? You don't know what is lanai? So that means you have not gone through your books. They also know what is there. Yes. Great. And of course, after that, the technical, when you have asked about all the general knowledge questions, of course, then you will be asked, given a final round which will be by the area directors, area heads. Finally, you will have a psychometric assessment and then to the final round. So it's an overall assessment, whatever your faculties, you have the brilliant of and the best of faculties. When they tell you about grooming, when they tell you please shave and comb, when they tell you go back home, why is your hair not trimmed, it is to get your base right. I can see some of the familiar faces, and I'll just close with the last point, that is how we fare during the internship, how we fare during the interviews is what creates the brand image of the college or the institute that we are from. So when you go to a hotel, any brand, we are all very close-knit industry. So when you go to any hotel for that matter, the way you perform, primarily the attitude, is what opens the way for the future generations. You do great, you open vistas. So do you know, I think you should know this, that for actually hotel management trainees, there are few segments of colleges only which is in the selection criterion. No other college, barring in that there are only 2 colleges, institutes which are segmented. Other than that, no other institutes are taken as a part of screening process. There's only one institute which has been taken into consideration because of the students, and that is Guru Nanak Institute of Hotel Management. And that is a very big path for you. So you enter, you are getting a placement across all the leading brands for a management training, wherein we get several applications that say, please allow us. We say, sorry, barring these 3 institutes, we cannot take. So you're in the right hands, you're with the right leadership, you're with the right mentors. Please make the best use. Sincere apologies, I held you up with this during lunch break. Thank you for your attention. And we hope all the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your interactive session. Once more, can we have a huge round of applause? Thank you so much. Okay. Now, I would like to invite our Reverend Vice Principal, Mr. Jayanta Ghosh, to come up and felicitate ma'am once again. Sir, can we please have you up on stage? Once more, can we please have a huge round of applause for Ms. Reshmi Patra. Thank you. Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
So dear students, you can have lunch now and we'll start the session again at 3 p.m. Thank you very much for patiently hearing. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.